Byron Shane Chubbuck is the kind of bank robber they make movies about. In the late 90s and early 2000s, he knocked over more than a dozen banks. And because he allegedly sent some of his haul to Mexican rebels, he became known as Robin the Hood. The cops caught him, he escaped, they caught him again, and he's now behind bars until 2071. But a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling has given him the chance to once again walk the streets as a free man, and his appeal just cleared a major stumbling block. Matt Grubbs is on special assignment.
Byron Shane Chubbuck, the notorious late 90s and early 2000s Albuquerque bank robber, nicknamed Robin the Hood.
Okay, I was robbing banks to help the Zapatistas in Chiapas, Mexico. Okay, that kind of got out of hand.
Might someday walk out of federal prison a free man. Considering he was in his mid-30s when the law finally caught up to him and his sentence is 80 years, that's a surprise. But Chubbuck appealed the 25 years of his sentence that were tacked on for using a gun during his escape. And an initial review by a federal magistrate judge shows he may win.
If we're going to lock people up and throw away the key, we want to make sure that we are following the laws and we're doing that with due process.
Santa Fe attorney Todd Coberly was assigned to Chubbuck's appeal by the court. He argues that language that the U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled unconstitutional should apply to Chubbuck's case.
What's the difference between substantial and serious potential?
And is it unfair then to ask a judge to set a sentence using words like that?
Everyone may think they can define it, but if we're all defining it differently, then how do you apply the law equally?
I think that's a fair way to look at it, sure.
Byron Chubbuck now has to convince a federal district judge to agree with the initial review and vacate his 25-year sentence for using a gun during his escape.
The U.S. Attorney's Office told the court that the law used to sentence Byron Chubbuck is plenty clear. He stole more than $150,000 by some accounts, and they say he deserves all 80 years in prison. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of cases like this nationwide, and reviewing them all takes a lot of time, and it is not cheap for either side.
It's sucking up a lot of resources that ultimately could be put to better use.
A public that demands crystal clear laws could save a lot of money. Byron Chubbuck could win his appeal of the vague law used to sentence him, and he could see daylight as a free man once more. He would be almost 80 years old. On special assignment, Matt Grubbs, KRQE News 13.
The U.S. District Court in New Mexico has been among the most aggressive in reviewing cases like Byron Chubbuck's. The list of cases that could be affected continues to grow. And you can read more online at krqe.com and on our KRQE News app.